You get this far into the season, now you're 4 weeks in, you kind of have a feel where this thing is going. You got a change in offensive coordinator, a maturing quarterback. Where are you guys right now offensively?
I feel like we're growing, but still coming together and trying to execute at a high level. I mean, that's what we're trying to, continue our level of details, execution, everything every single week. It's a lot of new guys kind of morphed together, but I feel like we've had a decent start. There's a lot more we need to improve on and get ready to go.
When you get someone like Josh back and you're familiar with him, does the language, does the approach, does it all make that easier?
It was easy a little bit for me. It's kind of like riding a bike. You're picking it back up. You haven't been in it for a while, and then all of a sudden you're just thrust back into it. So everything kind of comes back to you. But then you add some different things on top of things, and you're able to kind of grow in the system. So it's been good, and there's a lot of varieties. And Josh throws a lot at us, and he's a great coordinator, great schemer, able to move guys around and put them in position to be successful.
Your head coach is somebody who learned under a coach you played under in Bill Belichick. And I'm going to guess, just from approach, there's probably some similarities there. Would that be a good guess?
Yeah, there is a little bit.
Now, in that, what did Bill bring to the table? I've talked to a lot of guys who have played for him. I've worked with guys who played for him, and each of them had a kind of a different take on what it was, but there was all one steady through line, which was what he expected of you and that level of discipline that he brought every day.
Yeah, I think there was consistency and who he was every single day. I think I see that, similarity. I think just the accountability aspect, like you said, calling guys up and expecting, a high level of execution, details, and just to be on your stuff every single day. I mean, that's what we need in this league. And I feel like, Bill was really, really good about calling guys up. And I think Vrabel's doing the same.
New England has become home for you, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
When you got there, did you expect that you were going to embrace it as much as you have?
I try to, man. I try to immerse myself in, just the communities. I mean, I love my time on the West Coast as well. Me and my wife loved it. But yeah, I think it's two different lives also. I was young, didn't have any kids and had, two kids out here. So it's kind of two different lives, but it's been pretty special.
I mean, Arkansas to San Diego to Los Angeles. I'm going to guess you got a pretty hefty taste of what cold feels like.
Yeah, that the weather was definitely a big change, but it was kind of refreshing to have the seasons again. Honestly, you grow up with the seasons, but so it was refreshing to kind of have that again.
I look back at your family and, where you grew up and where you ended up going to school. Was there ever any choice? Was there ever any doubt that you were going to be going to and playing at Arkansas?
I think from the outside in, everybody thought, that's the case. But, I seriously considered some other places. But I think deep down in my heart, just Arkansas meant more to me. There's a lot of pride in that. Grew up a fan since I was out of the womb, honestly. Dad played there, grandfather played there. So just a long lineage. So it was probably destined to be.
Speaking of destiny, when you were young, you said to a teacher, you said in a class, I want to be a professional athlete one day. And they said, hey, I want to tone that down a little bit. When you're a kid, can you get that fire lit under you when a teacher says something like that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think there was a lot of us probably, we all had doubters or somebody that doubted us when we were younger. There's always all of us you get to this level, you need some kind of motivation, something to kind of kick you in the rear a little bit to continue to push you along. That's a simple story, but I think a lot of guys have been through that. Someone doubting you along the way. I think in a way they were probably just wanting me to maybe do a little bit better at school, which I took it seriously. But I think that there was times that I was like, man, I just want to play sports, and I think it's very important to really lock in on school and be the best you can be at everything.
This is the 10-year anniversary of the Henry Heave, and a lot of people have been looking back at one of the most miraculous plays in college football history. Do you think about that? Do you get asked about it a lot?
I do, especially when I'm back home. Back home is a big hot topic. Not as many people know about it up here. Maybe honestly, a lot of times now, people are like, "That was you," and I'm like, "Yeah, pretty crazy. That was me." So it's back home is definitely a hot topic.
I thought it was interesting when I read about it because it's the 10th year anniversary that you kind of almost saw that coming as you were in the huddle and broke the huddle before the play that you were probably going to have to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, I just saw the route concept on how everything was going to play out, and yeah, just improvised, trying to make a play, and luckily it worked out.
Well, there aren't a lot of plays for 4th and 25, are there?
There's not a ton, not in that scenario for sure.
Last couple of things. Divisional game against an opponent that you guys know really well and a team that has been in a lot of ways dominant. I know there's not a lot of love lost inside this division between these two teams. I think it's 16 years in a row that one or the other has won the division title. What do you see from them on film?
Just a high level football team takes advantage of, when you make mistakes, they capitalize on it fast. Obviously, on the other side of the ball for us is obviously a guy that won the MVP last year, going against him and just how special they can be on offense. We know, we have to control the ball, take care of what we got to take care of, and not turn the ball over, not give him more opportunities. But their defense flies around. They've been playing together for a while. A lot of guys that have carried over, they plug and play some new guys in there with Joey, and that has been active so far early. But I mean, just guys that fly around in the ball, make it really hard on you, make it confusing, different looks, roll out of coverages, and just some really really good players that just play really well together.
When you look at Drake right now, do you see, I mean, I'm not telling you to compare him to Josh in any way, but early on in Josh's career, people saw what could be there from a mobile quarterback, a tough quarterback, a guy who could throw the ball, obviously a phenomenal arm, and they saw that growth. Are you seeing that right now out of your quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to make comparisons, man, of anything. But Drake is a great player, great dude to be around. It's fun to grow with him and see the growth week after week, play after play. A lot of growth within him. Every time he kind of gets a rep, he puts that in the bank and is able to remember that and grow off of it. So it's pretty cool to be along the ride and be able to help him along that ride.
Last thing, Antonio Gates gets into the Hall of Fame. You get there to the National Football League, and there you are as a guy who is working as a backup tight end to one of the greatest who ever played. And you ended up in that rookie year, you ended up getting in the end zone quite a bit, something that was his specialty. What did you learn from Antonio Gates, just even in a brief period of time that you were working with him as a teammate?
Yeah, pretty special, man. I was really, really blessed to be able to step into a scenario like that to play with a guy that obviously is a Hall of Famer. Really special for myself just to jumpstart my career in that aspect. Just a guy that really cool watching his process and just how he processed things and how he saw things route concept wise. His feel for the game was just incredible. His top of the routes were really, really special for how big he was. He really attacked the ball, and I think also just his connection with Phil was really, really cool to watch. Just the amount of reps and, just balls and routes and, different timing things that they had done through the years just to almost know where each other were without, even talking. They just had a feel for each other. It was really, really cool to watch and try to fit in that in some aspect for myself. But it was really cool to be a part of and be able to watch.
So the PS on that is what I'm watching Hunter Henry right now. Am I seeing any Antonio Gates that you took with you?
I can't compare myself to a guy like that, man. But there's subtle things in the way I see things. Thanks to him, we move a lot differently. Our bodies are a lot different, but there's some subtleties that I learned a lot from him that I try to carry to this day.
Hunter, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.